If he touched the statue with his bare hands, he should have left some fingerprints. Detective Fulbright, you did take that into account during your investigation, did you? Wow. Oh, shoot. Did I arrest the wrong man? Oh, he's all upset. And it's funny that he's upset. You did it, Apollo. You knocked Detective Fulbright off his high horse. Well, it's just 1 point in our favor. Who do you suppose clubbed the mayor if it wasn't the alderman? Well, if it wasn't the alderman, that means someone else must have clubbed the mayor. Oh, yeah. We're going with it. You mean there was a third party? They're in the Fox Chamber? Yeah. And he wasn't from the Fox Valley, I can tell you that. Exactly. And this could be the big break we've been looking for. There does seem to be a hole in the prosecution's argument. Prosecutor Blackwell, would you care to respond to the defense's assertion? He's just like, nope. Oh man, stop doing that. Am I really pushing that low on the screen? Jeez. Least you can do is look at me while being dismissive. Your mind is as dull as an unhoned blade, Justice Dono. Justice Dono? Dono arigato, Justice Roboto? It'll take far more than that to cut down Simon Blackwell. Alright. Let's hear it. A whelp such as you has no hope against my superior swordsmanship. This is a trial, not a sword fight, Prosecutor Blackwell. There is a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall the blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime. Well, it just so happens that the blood was the mayor's. Ooh. So what are you getting at? Somebody used that to wipe off the fingerprints then. Hone your mind, boy! Why was there blood on that cloth? Solve that riddle and you shall see that the hole you thought you found is but an illusion. His voice is kind of annoying. On the other hand, I think he should be at least a little annoying. Now let's see, how was that cloth used? Was it used... It's used to wipe up blood. Maybe the cloth was used to wipe as much of the mayor's blood as possible off the statue? In the process, the culprit inadvertently erased the alderman's fingerprints as well.
Objection!
Ooh. I like his objection, dude. But the mayor did not bother to wipe away his own fingerprints on the murder weapon. Why would he wipe down one weapon but not the other? Careful now. Use what little brains you have left before you speak. Give me a do-over on that one, please. Now let's see. Oh. Black Hubie has a head covering to wrap the statue. Oh. Wait a minute. No. Why am I thinking about that? I keep thinking of that other guy who wrapped his head in the red handkerchief looking thing so he looked like Aunt Jemima. It makes me want to pick that first thing, but I think it's actually this one. Maybe the alderman wrapped the statue in the cloth. In short, he wasn't touching the statue directly when he used it to strike back at the mayor. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Precisely. Bully for you, boy. It was nothing. Paula, don't let him start manipulating you, too. You just closed the hole for the prosecution. I did? I did? Right. That a statue wrapped in cloth would leave no fingerprints is as plain as day. But this also proves there were no holes in your theory of the alderman striking back. Jeez. Oops. Arg. Fox and Demon statue updated in the court record. The weapon used to bludgeon the mayor wrapped in a large cloth. 2 pages. Now do you see how dull your mind is? I see it. I'll be sure to sharpen it next time. A particularly frightening inmate once told me that he always tenderly held his blades before he went to work, like the samurai of yore. Samurai? Sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me. Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time. Ah, a sushi chef. Wonderful. It would seem that the victim and his killer were the only ones there after all. I was kind of attached to that hole. Now what? Really? Really? Apollo, I just thought of something. If they didn't find anyone's fingerprints on that statue, who's to say someone other than the alderman didn't hit the mayor with it? Why didn't I think of that? Anybody could have not left prints on it. There you go. Shoot. Well, then who, pray tell, struck the mayor with the statue? Please illuminate us with your wisdom, young lady. Is this where we gotta say it? We have to say it. Prove the existence of this real killer, then. What evidence have you? I'll show you my evidence. Athena, are you sure about this? To borrow your words, Apollo, I'm fine. Take a look at this. Black feathers and tracks, allegedly from a yokai, were found at the scene. I believe they're from the third party who struck the mayor with that statue. I'm afraid that's what we're going with. Oh my god, we are. We totally are. He's gonna lose his mind. No, Athena, you just lost what little credibility we had left. She's like, no, we didn't. Don't worry. No, you didn't, because stuff. Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense. Sorry, Your Honor. It's just, this kid's still, well, a kid. Ouch! You meanie! I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright. So, is this court to believe the feathers and tracks are from a yokai, as you put it? No, Your Honor. I believe they are fabrication. The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman. Interesting, and why do you suppose the killer would do that? To keep him in line, baby. Keep him going back to those jobs. But why indeed? Mr. Justice, you seem as new to this as your partner is. Ow. I'm not reporting to Mr. Wright. I think he's sitting right there. Oi, Fulbright. Explain to his baldness what these brats are missing. You know, the who and why behind those feathers and tracks. So, like, I mean, is it really... I mean, I figure it's just someone, like, with a costume, or... I don't know. I mean... starting to think I chose the wrong profession. Very well, let's hear about these so-called yokai feathers and tracks. Here it goes. Well, get ready, you guys. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger. Mayor Tenma panicked when the amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters. So he stoked the villagers' fears by fabricating a monster. The strange feathers and tracks he planted made it look like a yokai was the killer. And that's it. Those feathers and tracks stoked the villagers' fears. How did I know? Absolutely, he knew exactly how to prey on their superstitious minds. We can't go on together. Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accursed demon Tenmataro, that is. Tenma who? Tenmataro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber. From a young age, the villagers are taught to fear the great black-feathered demon, and thus were they blinded to other, more plausible explanations. Uh-oh. Hold on for a second. Before we start letting our imaginations run wild, isn't there someone else that could be considered a suspect? Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. On the day of the incident, there was a special event held at QB Manor. Oh. Man, I gotta quit doing that. And as part of this event, there was someone dressed in the likeness of Tenmataro. Obviously, this person is a much more likely suspect than any legendary demon.
Objection!
Dullard, you are playing right into the killer's mind games. Am I really? Listen here. The feathers and tracks were merely red herrings. The villagers believed the murder to be the work of the real Tenmataro. However, the police believe that the person in the Tenmataro suit is the killer. Well, that's what I believe too! The defendant sought to sow this confusion in order to deflect blame away from himself. However, he was knocked unconscious by the alderman. And thus our mentally deficient mayor was caught red-handed at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Oops. Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so stupid?
Objection!
Oh yeah. The evidence speaks for itself. Fulbright. I'm trying that name's Fulbright. It sounds cool though. Right. It was the mayor's last-ditch effort to stop the opposition before things got crazy. The Amazing Ninetales was fueling both the yokai craze and the anti-merger movement. Plus, he's one of the better-known masked wrestlers and the hometown favorite. That's why the mayor panicked and set out on the path of injustice. But do the people of Ninetales Vale really believe a yokai is behind the crime? Yokai sightings are an everyday event there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I must say, a crime that preys upon innocent, impressionable minds. Just so, a particularly silver-tongued inmate once had the following words for me. The innocent of heart are the easiest prey. You don't say. Was this inmate a con artist? He's like, no. He was framed for the murder of his beloved. I actually felt sorry for the poor chap. Wait, so he wasn't the predator, but rather the prey? Was it Andy Dufresne? Yes, well, now then the defense may proceed with their cross-examination. Well, let's try it. Oh man, he looks scary down there. Sheesh. Alright. This entire case centers on one man's attempt to crush opposition to the municipal merger.
Hold it!
I suppose we should look at this. Detective Fulbright, is the anti-merger movement really that strong? Oh, absolutely. They parade around in yokai costumes shouting, "Down with Mayor Tenma!" And just the other day, they stormed Tenma City Hall, claiming it was a den of vipers. But when the accused showed his face, the angry mob scattered like leaves upon an autumn wind. For you see, lowly yokai are no match for Tenmataro, the dark lord of their kind. Wait, are the villagers scared of Mayor Tenma or Tenmataro? I'm confused. I think he means Mayor Tenma. It's easy to get the wrong impression about the dude. Detective Fulbright, why do you suppose the defendant would commit such an act? Well, Mayor Tenma panicked when the Amazing Ninetales helped embolden the protesters.
Hold it!
The Amazing Ninetales? No one knows his true identity, right? That's right. And he was a lone wolf, or in other words, he didn't belong in a wrestling federation. He appeared like a shooting star, defeating one Tenma Town wrestler after another. And before anyone knew it, he was champion! Like the samurai of yore, surrounded thick with enemies, he cut them down one by one. 'Twas a complete and utter loss of face for Tenma Town Pro Wrestling. He was amazing! If ever there was a real superhero, it would be him. I dream of becoming a true champion of justice like him someday. I bet Detective Fulbright would be a great pro wrestler. He'd probably get made into burgers. He could even team up with Prosecutor Blackwell. That's never gonna happen. Never. A police detective and a prisoner in chains? You know, I think people would actually pay to see that. I know I would. Would you really? I don't know, man. So you do understand the greatness that is the Amazing Ninetales. So we stoked the villagers' fears. So this I want to hear about right here. Did the murder yokai evidence really stoke the villagers' fears? Absolutely, it had an immediate effect. The presumed return of the dreaded Tenmataro has them shaking in their boots. Oh my, is it really that bad? That superstitious lot, it's as if Jack the Ripper had been set loose in their village. The mere thought of that demon lurking about is enough to spark a mass exodus. I see. That's a very persuasive argument. The mere thought of his honor buying into Simon the Psycho Slasher's words. Simon the Psycho Slasher. Makes me want to spark my own exodus out of the courtroom right about now. So you see, there can only be one reason why anyone would plant those feathers and tricks. To make people think.
Hold it!
Alright, we'll go with that. But it doesn't add up. What you say is true, why top it off with murder? What do you mean? Well, you claim that our client planted the yokai evidence to stoke the villagers' fears. If so, why not stop there? Why murder Alderman QB? Excellent point. Well, you know. It is, isn't it? So Your Honor agrees there was no reason for the murder, correct?
Objection!
No. He's not going to let you get by with that. Perhaps the killing was spur of the moment. You're saying it wasn't premeditated? From the outset, I've had no intention of paying heed to any of your babble. However, the fact is, the mayor made a startling discovery. Startling discovery? Why don't I like the sound of that? Alderman QB's secret identity. Apollo. I think Prosecutor Blackwell's figured out the Alderman's secret identity. But even if he has, why would it be a motive for the mayor to commit murder? This is not good. This patch of fur was discovered at the crime scene. It's from the mask worn by the amazing Ninetails. Therefore, we can conclude that this mask was at the crime scene. Well, why? But why would it have been there? The victim was a former pro wrestler and a member of the anti-merger movement. Oh, those chains get me every time. Need I say more? Well, nope. Could it really be? Your baldness has had an epiphany, I see. Our victim rescue was the amazing Ninetails. We're just now figuring that out. And the mayor's discovery of such was his motive for murder. Oh, man. I am at a loss for words, honestly. Like, I can't believe we're just now noticing that. What a shocking development. A motive clearer than crystal clear. What do we do now, Apollo? I didn't think they'd tie the Alderman's secret identity to the mayor's motive for murder. At last, we've reached my real point. Why did the Alderman have to forge a secret identity? Same reason as the other guy, really, probably. Does it not pique your interest, Mr. Baldness? Or your baldness, whatever. It's like the fourth time I've done that now. I admit it does. It is odd that he had to create this other persona. Just to secretly participate in the anti-merger movement. Anti-merger. Very astute of you, your baldness. Uh-oh. Blackmail letter. Oh, man. I know this is really stupid, a stupid place to stop, but I am actually going to stop here, because it is getting really late, and I shouldn't record this late at night anyway. But I'm starting to get kind of, like, drowsy, and I don't want to record when I'm like this, because I feel like I can't really concentrate that well. And I'm just starting to feel it in my head. It's like I'm losing my brain here, so I'm going to save the rest of this for next time. Till then, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.